So here's my so I have a story. And I this, geez, I might have been in high school when this trend started with my mom and I. I don't know how or why, but we decided, we were in Costco, and we decided to buy Sex in the City, the whole, like, kit and caboodle, like, DVD set from, like, I think there might have been 6 seasons. I'm not sure, but however many there are, we got like every single one like in that giant like binder. And that became like our routine. Like every night before bed we'd watch, like, depending on like when we would like get upstairs, what time it was, we'd watch like 1 or 2 episodes. And that was like our thing. And then as we started like winding down and you're like on the last season and like you don't have that many DVDs left, like we both started freaking out. My mom, like, all the more so. So we're like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, ooh, cause like I was the only one in my family when Will and Grace was on the air that actually would watch that show. You know, I may have at the time when I was younger, I may have not fully gotten all the jokes and maybe not really found it all that fun, like as funny as I do now, cause I can understand it a lot better. But my dad was like, ugh, that's trash. And my mom's like, put something else on. Like, they never gave it a chance. And I mean, I don't want to say anything negative, but my dad's still not 100% a fan of the show. But I said to my mom, Will and Grace. So we got all the discs of Will and Grace. And that was our thing. And it was like brilliant because when we got hooked on Will and Grace, I mean, and honestly, if you've seen that show, it is like hilarious. And this was like when I was going through a really tough time. This was my senior year of high school, and I just, the senior year of high school that summer, then I started up at county college that fall. A lot of, what was going down. There's a lot of stuff going down in the family, going down personally. I mean, it was sure hell. So, I mean, you spend your whole day crying hysterically, not feeling good, and then you get in bed and you plop in a Will and Grace and you laugh for like, was it like 30 minutes? Or whatever, I don't know. And it would be the perfect ending of a horrific day. So then that started like, it's like, oh my God, we're going to go through withdrawals. And then we got hooked on this show. It's no longer on the air. And we're like, boo, hiss, boo. Big Love. It was on HBO. It's a show about polygamy. And there was like 3 or 4 seasons. And that was like our thing. It was Big Love. It was funny because I think my aunt stumbled upon it and she gave us like the first season, and my mom and I are watching it, and my brother comes in the room and he's like, what is this crap? And then he walks out, and then my mom goes to bed, so I take it, I put it in his room, and we stayed up all night watching like the first like season. We were like up all night watching, and we were like addicted. But then when it was like on the air, we saw season 1 and 2 on DVD. But then because of that, we ordered HBO, right? So we got HBO just for that. And so then we'd watch it obviously when it was on air, DVR, and all that jazz. And then that started fading out. And somehow, I don't know how, again, I was like, Nurse Jackie. I'm like, this looks like something could be good. So then we got hooked on Nurse Jackie after Big Love, and that's on Showtime. And we went through all the DVDs, and then we watched the seasons on the TV. Hopefully the show's coming back. I have like no idea. Because I DVR stuff, I like zip through commercials, so I have no idea when like stuff's starting. But thanks to Facebook, you kind of get updated. Like Pretty Little Liars is like coming on Tuesday night, which I'm like thrilled about. Degrassi's coming back sometime this month, and Switched Up Birth should be coming soon. Idol's coming on soon. Like, so I'm getting excited for that. Oh, Honey Boo Boo's coming back. Honey Boo Boo Child. So we're like, what, I mean, and obviously when you're got a break, trying to figure out what you're going to watch next, sometimes we will watch, like, same stuff over again because it's hilarious. And there was an episode on Will and Grace where Karen and Jack were at the office, Grace Adler Designs, and they're talking about Sex in the City, um, and Jack says to Karen, "Didn't you hear Sex and the City is no longer on the air?" And she's like, "What?" And like smacks him across the face. She's like, "Well, at least I still got my Frasier and my Friends." And then he's like, "Didn't you hear, Karen? Like those went off the air a while ago." She's like, "What?" And double smacks him. She's like, "No, Jackie, not now, not today." And then he's like, "I know, now I finally know. My mother felt when Barnaby Jones went off the air." And then they had this idea that they would go out in the real world and have their own experiences and then come back and talk about it, but it didn't work out so good. So, like, that's kind of how, like, my mom and I feel when, like, a show of ours and the DVDs end. We're always like, well, at least I got my Frasier and my Friends. We always, like, joke about it. So now we're on Big Bang Theory. And like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. For Christmas, I got the complete season 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did some research on the show, and I told my mom, I said, this show aired in September of 2007, and we are now in 2013. So do the math, because I can't. And they did the math, and they're like, okay. So we were going through them fast, and my mom's like going through withdrawals and like freaking out. So they went out, I think Target, they found season 1 and 5. So we were in the midst of season 3, I think, and we put that on hold, or it might have been 4. Oof, I don't know. We put that on hold, and now we're watching season 1, and then we'll go back and like continue. But it's like, it's what we do at night, and like, my dad's even hooked to this show. He's like, don't watch it without me. And I guess, again, I can always DVR it, watch it on demand. So he comes over at night, and like, we'll watch like a couple episodes, and he's like, oh, come on, one more. I'm just like, I don't want to go through them so fast. Like, this is all I have. This is all we have. Because the other day, like, I don't know, like, sometimes, like, things aren't always, like, going so great, or you're just stressed out or upset, and you're just like, what's life all about? So, like, I guess my parents, they were just like, I don't know, having, like, a stressful day. I don't know. I don't really know. I just know my mom was on the phone, and she's like, all we have is Sheldon Cooper, Leonard Hofstadter, Howard Wolowitz, and Raj Koothrappali. She's like, that's all we have in our lives. She's like, and me, obviously. But she's just like being dramatic, but it's funny. She's like, that's all we have. So, so yeah, we're like totally addicted, and it is hilarious, I'm telling you. And it's so funny because it's extremely relatable, because I'm a lot like Sheldon, and my mom's, growing up, she had she's the middle child, so her younger sister had Asperger's syndrome like me, and Down syndrome, and she was very rigid in her ways and had her routines, and it's like, you don't screw up the plan. It's like, just like kind of like in the Big Bang Theory, it's like, you don't have French toast on oatmeal day, and you don't have oatmeal on French toast day. It's like certain things, it's like, it's Halo night. You don't do anything else to play Halo. It's like, tonight's Chinese food. We're not going to eat anything but Chinese food. Like, if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. And so that's how it was growing up, like, with my aunt and everything. And you just never messed up a routine or anything, or there would be hell to pay, trust me. And I'm very smart in some aspects. In some aspects, I'm learning challenged, if you will. But I have a good long-term memory, and I'm not as braggadocious, if you will, as Sheldon is, but I do pride on knowing my stuff. And like the other night, my dad's like, I don't think we saw, because we were trying to switch things up. So we went to go see Two and a Half Men on Amazon Demand because we like it with Ashton Kutcher. And I said, we saw this one. He's like, no, we didn't. I'm like, yes, we did. No, we didn't. And my mom's like, trust her. Whenever she's always right. Whenever I think I know I'm talking about, she's always right. And he's like, well, we'll wait. Let's watch it for 3 minutes. So, like, hardly 3 minutes in the show, he's like, yeah, we saw this one. I'm like, told ya. So, just the little things in life, that bring us pleasure. No one needs to climb Mount Everest to be happy or feel like they've achieved something. Life's all about the little things, stopping and smelling the roses. And this video is getting long, but I probably... But anyway, that is like a story that I wanted to tell and share. Right now, my parents are going to my nephew's to drop off their birthday stuff. I wish I could have gone, but that would mean risking getting sick. And as careful as I think I could be, somehow I still have a feeling that I'd end up with something. And I don't want that. I don't even know why I'm talking about that. But anyway, that's my, story of my life with DVDs. And, constantly finding new shows. We're always looking for new shows. And then, that we haven't seen, that have been on air for a while. And then we just get the DVDs and just watch them. So, yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Ooh, I want to interview people later about the Big Bang Theory. Okay, alright, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.